Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Paramita and I heartily welcome you to my channel Paramita PM. If you are new to my channel, then it is my earnest request to you to kindly go through the content of my channel, and if you really find them helpful, then do like it, share it, and please do not forget to subscribe to my channel. My channel is new and I'm trying my best to put in all my efforts, to upload all valuable materials which would help you in understanding literary texts and at the same time heighten your interest in studying English literature. And also do not forget to turn on the notification button so that you stay updated. Now, without any further ado, let's get into today's lecture. In this video, I will be looking at another important branch of feminism, and that is radical feminism. I have already discussed liberal feminism and Marxist feminism. So before I start explaining radical feminism, I would just like to point out something about liberal feminism and Marxist feminism. When we look at liberal feminism, the name itself tells us that it has something to do with the doctrine of liberalism. When we look at Marxist feminism, it immediately tells us that here feminism is looked at from the perspective of Marxist theory. But when we look at the phrase radical feminism, it doesn't let us, understand as if it is related to some doctrine, because the term radical means new. Therefore, we immediately understand that radical feminism has something which is entirely new or revolutionary, maybe beyond the norm, and radical feminism is a concept that tries to or that attempts to change the fundamentals. Radical feminism believes in the complete restructuring or reordering of society, whereby male supremacy or male dominance would be completely removed. Because radical feminism holds patriarchy as the root cause of gender inequality, and in order to put an end to patriarchy, it is necessary to reorder or to restructure this society and get rid of male dominance and supremacy. As far as several ideologies are concerned, be it social, political, economic, or personal, all ideologies need to be repaired. So by the term ideology, I mean a set of beliefs. So all the prevalent or established set of beliefs related to society, related to politics or economy need to be repaired in order to attain meaningful freedom for women. As far as legal and political structures are concerned, radical feminism says that these legal and political structures are so deeply rooted in patriarchy that even if changes are brought about in these structures, it would certainly ensure, it would certainly, lead to the empowerment of women. But the central problem or the central issue, which is this discrimination against women, would be partially resolved or partially addressed. Why? It is because, like I said, be it political or legal structures, they are actually patriarchal structures. That's why I said that they are deeply rooted in patriarchy. So mere changes in political and legal structures may ensure women empowerment, but it would not resolve or it would not fully address the central problem or this discrimination against women. Then radical feminism also believes that or let's say a radical feminism finds a society synonymous with patriarchy. It doesn't segregate, rather it feels that society and patriarchy, they represent one institution which functions in order to subjugate women, in order to dominate women and cause their oppression. Because radical feminists find that in a patriarchy, women have less power than men. In a patriarchy, men always have more power than women, and therefore everything is gendered, whether it is in the private sphere or in the public sphere. And that everything is gendered, it completely depends on this preconceived notion or this ideology that women are weaker than men, and above all, women are inferior to men. And that is why everything is gendered, everything is decided, everything is structured, taking into account this preconceived notion. So, like I said, radical feminism holds, and it is its firm belief, or we can say that the major premise or the main premise on which radical feminism is based is the idea that patriarchy is the root cause of gender inequality. Therefore, patriarchy should be completely done away with, and in order to do that, changes or repair should be made in social, political, economic, as well as our personal ideology. We also need to, change our own beliefs. We also need to come out of the established norms that are always meant to oppress women, that are always meant to subjugate women in a society. Apart from looking at the aspects that I mentioned, radical feminism also tries to analyze that how social divisions in race, class and caste, as well as sexual orientation, affect women's experiences. Here, in this context, I would like to refer to the Afro-American society, where we've come across discrimination between whites and blacks. So it is this discrimination that leads to the double marginalization of women in an Afro-American society. First, she is marginalized because she is a woman, and secondly, she is marginalized because of her race, because of the color of her skin. So that's why I said that these kinds of divisions or discriminations, when they exist in society in relation to race or caste or sexual orientation, it often leads to varied experiences for women. Radical feminism also tries to explore the sexual and reproductive role of women. According to radical feminists, they believe that women should be given the freedom of exercising their sexuality the way they want. And here, in this connection, they talk about celibacy, which means maintaining an unmarried status all over life. Secondly, they talk about lesbianism, which is female homosexuality. And finally, they refer to autoeroticism, which implies using one's own body as a sexual object. Radical feminists say that this freedom should be given to women. They should have the discretion. Nobody else should have it. Nobody should dictate, or any patriarchal body or structure shouldn't dictate what a woman should do when it comes to her sexuality. If she wishes to maintain a celibate life, she should be allowed to do that. There shouldn't be any compulsion upon her. Then if she prefers to have a lesbian relationship, then too she should be allowed to do that, because it is her own body, it is her own sexuality, and therefore it should be entirely her own discretion what kind of relationship she would like to be in. And finally, autoeroticism, which means, like I said, using one's sexuality, or one's body as a sexual object. To be very specific, using one's body as a sexual object. So radical feminists say that women should have complete discretion when it comes to all these aspects, because here they put forward the argument saying that whether it's sati or the parda system or ritualistic, genital mutilation, pornography, or rape, all these have caused degradation and oppression of women. And why did this happen? All these happened because of male dominance, because of male supremacy. So therefore, this male supremacy and male dominance should be completely done away with, and women should be given complete freedom when it comes to her reproductive role, when it comes to her sexuality. So here, radical feminists, they put much emphasis upon the freedom of women as to how they would like to use their own body. For instance, if a woman, puts on a revealing outfit, we find that the mindset of society is such that it immediately makes people point fingers at her. But this is not done when a man is found to wear a short pant or a Bermuda. So it should be completely her own discretion, that if she prefers, if she enjoys wearing a revealing dress, it should be allowed to her. Let her decide. And if she decides that no, she would not wear such an outfit, then too that decision should be respected. So when it comes to her own body, no patriarchal body or no patriarchal structure should dictate a woman as to how she should make use of her body, or how she should make use of her body as a sexual object, if she, or what kind of relationship she would like to be in. It should be left to the discretion of a woman. So here we find that radical feminists, they put much emphasis on the freedom of women with regard to these aspects. There are two distinct forms of radical feminism. One is libertarian radical feminism and the other one is cultural radical feminism, and we find that they differ in their attitudes to ideas of femininity, femaleness, and motherhood. Now, it is very interesting when we find that libertarian radical feminism considers motherhood to be a kind of shackle. It believes that motherhood hinders women's empowerment and therefore there should be absolute freedom from it. While when we look at cultural radical feminism, we find that it holds that motherhood is a unique experience for women, and instead of hindering their empowerment, rather it makes women enjoy empowerment. In fact, they point out that men are envious of women's reproductive abilities and therefore they try to control them using new reproductive technologies. Therefore, it is not a female biological construct, nor women's reproductive possibilities that cause their oppression. Rather, cultural radical feminists, highlight the fact that it is men's envy of women's reproductive abilities that causes or that leads to their oppression. It is neither their biological construct nor their reproductive possibilities. And with this, more or less, I have covered all the aspects of, or the main ideas related to radical feminism. Finally, I will look at the difference that lies between radical feminism and liberal feminism, and then radical feminism and Marxist feminism. So how does radical feminism differ from liberal feminism and Marxist feminism? Radical feminism holds patriarchal gender relations responsible for causing the oppression of women, for causing the subjugation of women. While when we look at liberal feminism, we find that it holds legal and political structures to be completely gendered and therefore responsible for gender inequality. And then finally, when we look at Marxist feminism, we find that Marxist feminism considers capitalism, or this capitalist mode of production, responsible for causing class conflict, and it is this class conflict that eventually leads to the suppression of women, the subjugation and oppression of women in society. So with this, I come to the end of my lecture on radical feminism. I hope you find the lecture helpful, and please like it if you really find it comprehensible, share it, and do not forget to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you very soon in another video. Until then, bye bye.